Hello, this is day 3 for week 8 for math. For those of you that are keeping pace with me, we started talking about bar graphs yesterday. We are on page 674 and we'll continue to talk about bar graphs. I will complete page 674 and page 675 and we'll leave page 676 for you to complete on your own and any other page that came for this day afterwards. So let's take a look at this bar graph and see how it pertains to these questions right here. The title of this bar graph is called Trees at the Farm, and it tells us number of trees on the side, and they are listed from 0 to 8. We have different kinds of trees. We have the oak tree, the pecan tree, the maple tree, and the apple tree, and we will use this bar graph to answer the questions 9 through 12. How many trees are at the farm? So it doesn't say how many oak trees. Oops, sorry about that. It doesn't say how many oak trees. It doesn't say how many pecan trees or maple trees or apple trees. It's asking how many trees all together are at the farm. So that's what we're looking to answer. Oh, cannot get this straight. There we go. So that means we need to look at all the numbers and write them down. So if we start with the oak tree, we go up the bar graph, we see that there are 6 oak trees. For pecan, we go up and we see that there are 3 pecan trees. For maple, we go up and we see that there are 7 maple trees. And for apple, we go up and we see that there are 2 apple trees. So we're going to take these numbers and put them over here in a number sentence, which gives us 6 plus 3 plus 7 plus 2 equals a number, which we're trying to find out. I know that if I put 7 and 3 together, that's going to give me 10. And then I have 6 plus 2. What's 6 plus 2? Very good, my math fact friends. 8. So then I have 10 plus 8. And that will tell me the number of trees that we have on our farm, on our bar graph. Solve it and write it on the line when you're done. Number 10. How many trees are not apple trees? Keywords are not. That means we need to look at this bar graph and add up all those trees that are not apple trees. So we look here, we have 6 oak, 3 pecan, or pecan as my mom says, 7 apple, and we're not going to add the 2 apple trees. And we're going to solve it. So we have 6 plus 3 plus 7 because we're trying to figure out how many trees are not apple trees. You can add these up on your own. Hopefully you've been practicing your math facts still, and write your answer on the line. Explain. Suppose 7 more trees are brought to the farm. How many trees would be on the farm then? So they're saying if we have these trees here, the ones that we counted up, and they bring 7 more trees to the farm, how many trees would be at the farm then? How would we find that answer? What would we need to do? To figure out if there are 7 more trees, what would we need to do? Yeah, we need to add them up. We need to add up all of these numbers and 7 more. So we would take the 6 oak trees, the 3 pecan trees, the 7 maple trees, the 2 apple trees, and now the 7 mystery trees, and add them up. How many trees would be at the farm? And they said to explain, we would add up all of the trees at the farm plus 7 more trees. Here it is right here. To find the answer. giving us the steps right here. Okay, jot that down. Going down to number 12. If you need to, you can of course pause it like I always tell you. Use the data in the bar graph about trees to finish the sentences. There are blank fewer apple trees than oak trees. So we're comparing. Fewer means we have to do, that's right, subtraction. We've been saying it. So I have to look at this chart up here to figure out how many apple trees are there? 2. So I'm going to write 2 over apple trees so I don't forget. How many oak trees are there? 6. So I'm going to put 6 here. There are blank fewer apple trees than oak trees. And I told you could draw it or you could write a number sentence. So for oak trees, I can put 6 O's to represent the oak trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I would draw A's to show the apple trees. There's 2 apple trees. And these ones are lined up. So how many oak trees don't have a match? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 left. So there are 4 fewer apple trees than oak trees. Or you could do the number sentence. We take the number of oak trees, 6, and subtract the number of apple trees. And we have 6 minus 2. And that leaves us with 4. So there are 4 fewer apple trees than oak trees. Okay. Let's go to the next page in the packet. We're using this bar graph again to answer these questions. Same things. It's still a bar graph, even though it's not going up and down, it's just turned sideways. The name of this bar graph is called Favorite Sport, and the sports that they're discussing are baseball, soccer, basketball, and football. And these are number of children that they're measuring right across the rows. You're going to use these to answer the questions below. Question number 1 says, how many children chose basketball? If I look at the bar graph up there, I find basketball, and I go across to find out how many children chose basketball. Write the answer here on the line. Number 2, which sport did the most children choose? So which one has the most amount of children? You look on the bar graph and find out, and then you write down which sport on the line. Pretty simple. Number 3, how many more children chose basketball than baseball? How many more? Key words, how many more? What does that mean we have to do? Subtract. So we have to figure out how many children chose basketball, and then we have to choose how many children chose baseball. We're looking at the chart up above, the bar graph. How many children chose basketball? Look here, we slide across. 5 children chose basketball. How many children chose baseball? Here's baseball, we slide across. 3 children chose baseball. You can either draw the picture or you can do the number sentence just like we did on the other page to find the answer and write down how many more children. Number 4, and I apologize if I'm going fast. Which sport did the fewest children choose? Fewest is the least amount. Which sport did the fewest children choose? So you look to find out which one has the least amount of children, selecting it, and that's what you're writing on the line. Now we have problem solving. How many children chose baseball or basketball? Do you think you have to add or do you think you have to subtract? Yes, you are adding. How many children chose baseball or basketball? You're going to add for this one. Okay? And then finally, at the last one, you're writing. Look at the bar graph above. Write about the information shown in the paragraph. Shown in the graph. What information do you learn about in the graph? So I'm just going to do a starter sentence. In the bar graph, The information is about. Finish the sentence. What did you learn about in the bar graph above? And I'll leave this here. Pause it if you need to. In the bar graph, the information is about. You finish the sentence. Okay, so you still have one more page that I'm going to check to see how you did. And I'll probably look this page over also, so don't skip it, because I'm going to look it over to see how you did independently, and then you'll complete the other one. And of course, I'll message you with any questions or concerns. Message me or call me if you have any questions and you need any help. Talk to you later.